everyone! Today we're creating this golf-themed card. To get started, you'll need to go to the link in the description and download and print these patterns. And if you can't print, you could also draw your own. Next, you'll need 2 pieces of paper that are 5.5 inches by 8.5 inches, and I cut one in green and one in sky blue. Then I took each of these and I carefully folded them in half, and I used scissors to score the fold. Then I took the blue one and I marked a 1/2 inch in from the fold on the top and the bottom, and I cut a little ways from the end up to this mark. Then that section that we just cut in the center, you're going to want to fold forward. It's going to create kind of a step. So fold it forward and then fold that top piece forward, and you can use scissors to score the folds. And then once you've done that, we're going to glue the green piece to the front of the blue piece so it covers where that notch is. So I just glued it one side at a time. So you'll be left with this. Next, take this pattern and trace it onto some green paper and cut it out. And then we're going to glue it to the front of that step that we created. So put glue on the front. Line it up with the edges and close the card to glue it in place. Next, I want to cover this bottom area of the card in green to look like grass. So I put some glue on it and pressed the green paper in place and trimmed it to fit. So it looks like this. Next, I took some light green paper and I traced the golf green pattern onto it and cut it out. Then I took the flag stand pattern and I traced it onto some green paper. Marking off where the fold lines are, and then folding it on those lines. So I have a piece like this. So I'm going to arrange the golf green and this piece where I want it. Then once I decided where I wanted to place them, I glued the green in place. And then I took the flag stand and I turned it upside down and marked where the end went on the green. Then I took the same side and I put it up against the back and I marked the top. And this will give you a guideline where to glue it in place so it will close properly. So just glue it in front of those guidelines. Then I took some white paper and I traced the flagpole pattern onto that and cut it out. And then I glued it to the front of the flag stand. Made sure everything closed properly. Next, I traced the flag pattern onto some red paper, cut it out, and I glued it to the top of the flagpole. And I made sure that it was down far enough that it didn't show when the card was closed. So it looks like this. Next, I cut a golf ball out of white paper, and I glued it to the green. And I traced the large golf ball pattern onto some white paper, and then I took a black marker and I just drew little circles all over to make it look like a golf ball. And then I traced the golf tee pattern. and cut them out, and then I set those 2 pieces aside, and I traced 3 of the flag pattern onto some blue paper, and I wrote Dad across those, first in pencil, and then I went over it with a black marker. Then I used a bottle of paint to hold down the front cover while I laid out the pieces and decided where everything would go. And then once I decided, I started gluing them all in place. And then I took some of this string and I glued it in place to act as a hanger for the flags. And then I cut a rectangle of light green paper wide enough for the card, and I made you a pattern for this. And then I took the scissors and I just cut a whole bunch of horizontal lines into it, and then I cut the top so it wasn't all even and it looked more like grass, and I kind of bent some of those pieces forward and I glued it to the front of the card. And then on the inside of the card I wrote a message, and I made you a printout for this, so you can write it if you want or use the printout. And I wrote in pencil and then traced with black marker, and that's it! Thank you so much for watching, and I hope you have a great day.